everyone, and welcome back to the Evil's Dynasty. And today, this probably looks extremely weird without gameplay in the background. Now, I have an explanation for that. I made an egregious error. Well, it's not so much egregious, but I made a mistake. So, what I like to do is I like to record several of these videos at a time. And when I went to clear space on the screen recorder so that I wouldn't run out of disk space when recording other content, I was deleting some games that I had already recorded. And one of the games that I deleted was the Week 13 game at the Blitzburg Steelheads. And I didn't save it to my computer, and I don't back up anything from the screen recorder because I'm able to save it to the computer practically right away, assuming I remember, but I didn't remember to do that, and so there is no actual footage of the Week 13 game, but I can tell you what happened. Because I was there, I played the game. So, as always, when I play the Steelheads, well, what seems to be the case a lot of the time, or at least it feels this way, is where, because the Steelheads defense is just so talented, they are kind of my kryptonite, if you will. Them and the Carcass City Creeps are both kind of my kryptonite. Because the Creeps are so good on offense, but on the flip side, the Steelheads are so good on defense that it just makes it so difficult for my offense to score. And that's exactly what happened. As we had a combined, I think, 15 points in the first half. And I think they were ahead because they got the ball to start the game, and so they had an extra possession in the first half to do something with it. And I say 6 because I had the 2-point play fail on my end. So it wasn't just 2 field goals, but my defense seemed to really stiffen up in the red zone, which does really make me feel good to know that they can bend, but they won't necessarily break. And by the way, based on the standings, this was a game that basically, if I won, I would have clinched a playoff berth. So those were the stakes at hand in this game. So basically, win, and I clinch a playoff berth. And so there's that. Yeah, I mean, this was the first time I had played there on the road since the Season 1 Week 1 game. And so now I played them 4 times in 4 seasons and at 3 different places. I've played them in a Mayhem Bowl, and I've played them in the regular season in Seasons 1, 3, and now 4. And the game was really starting to look in doubt early in the second half, as I still struggled to really get anything going. offensively, but so did they for the majority of it, as uh, they not that good on offense. Sorry, sorry to you guys that are Steelheads fans, but just not that great on offense. Just not great on offense whatsoever. But it started to open up a little bit in the second half, as it was like, as the Steelheads started off, I think the second half with a touchdown after I failed to score a touchdown, or anything for that matter, as I recall. And so, with me down 16-6, it was basically crunch time. And I put the ball in the hands of Menace Painwell. Old reliable Menace Painwell to put me down the field and put a touchdown up on the board to make it a 16-14 ball game. And so now it is just 2 points in the third, and they get the ball back. I get a stop, and I continue to put the ball into Menace Painwell's hands, as I try to do too much. There's times where, against a really talented defense, I try to do too much. And in the second half, I just thought, I'm like, well, forget this. I'm just going to put the ball in Menace Painwell's hands and let him excel, as always. And so that's exactly what I did. And I was able to win. And, I was able to pull away and start scoring. And the Steelheads started to become predictable as they started to throw the ball all over the place, but that just doesn't work against a terrific secondary led by Tredangerous Fright when you are one-dimensional. I mean, it's kind of frustrating that we can't rush the passer, but we can cover like crazy. That is one thing that we can do. So that's why the lack of pass rush doesn't really bother me too much, is because we have that. But so eventually we go and, excuse the dog, I'm so sorry. But yeah, we eventually took control of the game because we're a much more talented team. So eventually that talent was able to shine through, and we were able to win and secure a playoff berth in the process. So, but yeah, once again, I am so sorry that I do not have the footage from this. It's just that when, hey, I am human. Mistakes happen, and I'm going to do better in the future. I'm going to make sure that the games are actually saved to the computer before I delete them from the screen recorder, because there is where I can recover recordings from the screen recorder, but not before I either close the screen recorder out or I just delete them, which then removes them from the disk and the hard drive. So it was an irrecoverable position. But yeah, it was an ugly game, but it was still one that I would have loved to upload. I mean, I have uploaded myself getting blown out by 30, 40, even 50 points maybe one time in this dynasty. But yeah, so uploading an ugly win, I wouldn't have minded one bit. Even if it was a loss, like last year I had an ugly loss at the very end to the Terrorbane Mutineers. Even I uploaded that. Well, I even uploaded that. So it's not like there was something embarrassing that happened. But yeah, I clinched a playoff berth. So the game in 2 weeks, the Week 15 game against the Cracksome Skull Jugulars, will not be the series finale. But yeah, so I will see you all in Week 14. And once again, I am so sorry about this.